The Flying Fox. Vermeer was born in an inn called the Flying Fox, the Vliegende Vos. Vermeer was born in 1632. At that time, his father, Reinier Jans, ran an inn in a house he had rented. Probably, Reinier named the place after himself. At the time, he used Vos as his last name. Vos means fox in Dutch. The exact place of the Flying Fox is not known, and currently also there is an inn with the same name at the original inn's approximate location. A new family name. Vermeer's father wasn't born with the surname that would become famous on account of his son. He only adopted this name as an adult. Most certainly from 1640 onwards, and we don't know for what reason. Previously, he used the name Vos, and we know this because his name appears in a lot of documents of the time. The word Vermeer in Dutch means to increase, but it's possible that he used it as a contraction of Van der Meer, which means from the lake. It was a common last name at the time. Still on the topic of Vermeer's family, his maternal grandfather, Balthazar Glass, got caught involved in a counterfeit money scheme. He was hired to make dice for coins in The Hague. His two employers were prosecuted and sentenced to death by decapitation in Amsterdam in 1620. The chess floor. We can see a black and white marble flooring in many of Vermeer's paintings. It's possible that these checkerboard floors were used in Vermeer's house, but we see that the arrangement of these tiles varies in different paintings. For example, continuous lines, black crosses, white leads shape the crosses. A famous but fake pearl. The pearl, a girl with a pearl earring, possible is made of a fake pearl. We can see pearls in at least half of Vermeer's paintings. Such a large pearl as the one we see in this iconic painting would be very rare and would be hugely expensive. On the other hand, imitation pearls were already in use. They were made of metal or glass and painted to look like pearls. We may also take note of the way the girl's earring reflects the light. It's more visible in a glass pearl. If passports were used in the 17th century, Vermeer's passport would have no stamps. For centuries, it's a common practice for painters to visit other countries, like Italy, to know other artists' works. However, Vermeer never went abroad. He remained in his hometown of Delft, the same city where he was born and has died. We know of only a single travel he has made to Amsterdam during his lifetime. The fact that there are no record of him traveling outside of the Dutch Republic makes his artistic skills even more remarkable. Vermeer's studio was located in the front room facing north at the top floor of the house. We know about some of the equipments he had because an inventory of all household goods with the names of the rooms 2 months after his death. His studio contained 2 Spanish chairs, a cane with an ivory knob, probably a mahl stick, used as a support for the hand while painting, 2 painter's easels, 3 palettes, 6 panels, 10 canvas, a cupboard with drawers, a table, a desk, 3 bundles with all sorts of prints. The clerk also noted at here and there some rummage not worth of being itemized separately. This rummage may not have value for legal purposes, but surely today we'd love to see the materials he used to paint and to recreate the appearance of his workplace. The Sphinx of Delft. Vermeer wasn't largely known for the following 2 centuries after his death, and few facts of his life remained registered. The French journalist and art critic Théophile Burger was responsible in the 19th century to redeem the painter's name and history. Burger gathered information on Vermeer's works and in 1866 published a catalogue, thus finally bringing exposure and recognition for Vermeer's name. While Burger was investigating Vermeers' legacy, as little was known about the painter. As someone shrouded in mystery, he created the nickname, the Sphinx of Delft. In a Van Gogh letter. In a correspondence to Émile Bernard, written while he lived in Arles in 1888, Van Gogh mentions Vermeer with these terms. For instance, do you know a painter called Vermeer, who, for example, painted a very beautiful Dutch lady, pregnant? This strange painter's palette is blue, lemon yellow, pure gray, black, white. Of course, in his few paintings there are, if it comes to it, all the riches of a complete palette, but the arrangement of lemon yellow, pale blue, pure gray is as characteristic of him as the black, white, gray, pink is of Velázquez. In this beautiful description, Van Gogh is referring to the painting Woman in Blue Reading a Letter, which remained in Amsterdam since 1854, and where probably he had seen this work. Van Gogh also mentions Vermeer in a letter as the incomparable Sphinx, saying, Vermeer of Delft found this extremely sound technique that has not been surpassed. A stolen Vermeer. In 1971, the painting The Love Letter was taken out from the museum where it was being exhibited. The artwork was harshly damaged during the theft. The canvas was slashed out of its frame and folded, and even remained buried in the forest for some time, and afterwards it was hidden under a mattress. After being taken back to the museum and following such abuse, the painting had to undergo some serious restoration. Antonie van Leeuwenhoek and Vermeer names appear on the same page of the baptismal register in a church in Delft. Antonie van Leeuwenhoek was one of the first microscopists. He made the most powerful lens with magnifying glasses of his time, and was the first person to observe several microorganisms. As they were contemporaries, had the same age, and lived in the same city, there are speculations if these two men have interacted in life, but there is no evidence confirming this. Van Leeuwenhoek sometimes worked for the city council, and for this reason acted as a curator for Vermeer's estate. after the painter's death. To finish, Van Leeuwenhoek has written a compelling quote on knowledge. Most men are not curious to know. Some even make no bones about saying, "What does it matter whether we know this or not?"